All right, so y'all seen episode 10. Now we're on episode 11 or 12, one or the other. I'll fix it. Okay, so Scandy's planning the wedding. She calls up her dad and says, Dad, because he's agreed to it and everything now. As you can see, the warden is slowly transferring things over and just trying to make sure that they straight and all this kind of stuff. Now, when that guard, and you're going to see that, or you should have seen it, or the video probably didn't cut it. I don't know. I got it, but I'll fix it here. The guard is going to bring Scandy into a room as if he wanted to have a word with her. But it turned out it was Roach in the room. It was Roach in the room. And it was a couple of Roach's guys. So they was planning on trying to violate Scandy. That was the whole thing. What they did know is Strawberry and the Dream Team, they overheard what happened. So when they got outside the cell and seen the guard walking away, they pulled up on the guard with big ass yaks, I'ma call them. They pulled up on the guard with some big things and pulled him out. Now the guard can't go. You gotta think, the guard will have to lie and allow this to happen to Scandy in order to go along with the plan. The guard can't say the Strawberry pulled out knives on her. It's a crooked guard. The guard can't say, well, yeah, I brought Scandy into this room. How you gonna get through Strawberry and the Queen Team? Strawberry and the Queen Team is out there with big ass knives standing outside just watching it. That's why he said, well, I'm not just gonna let Willie Earl know right away. But she did kind of know that there was a plan to set it up. But Willie didn't know when this was going to occur. Scandy just said, just go ahead and just let it play out. It's just going to play out. Because, maybe she figured that, because Strawberry didn't set this up that way. But Strawberry did know that they were trying to set Scandy up. And they did let Willie Earl know. But Scandy didn't tell Strawberry to do it. Strawberry was just going to, but she thought this guard was on the up and up. She never had no suspicions of this guard. This was a crooked guard that Scandy really didn't know. It was a newer guard. You know what I'm saying? So now they surround the guard and say, open up that door. The guard opens up the door. Scandy looks out and sees Strawberry. So now she's relieved because she thought she was going to get took. Because they were going to do something to Scandy or try to hold her or whatever the case may be. Strawberry and the Queen Team come in and tell Scandy to get up and get out the room. Roach is like, hey, don't get involved in this or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? Because he still knew Strawberry or whatever. But the thing is Strawberry feel like, I'm against any predators against Willie Earl. So, Strawberry's holding this big ass thing, this big ass yak, and telling Scandy to get up. Scandy politely gets up and leaves the room. Two of the Queen Team members walk Scandy back towards the guard because now Scandy gonna let Willie Earl know because this is gonna start a war. So Strawberry says, your days is numbered, boy. Your days is real numbered. So now he's not really getting too smart with Strawberry because, Strawberry probably figures, because, now the guard, he kind of scurries off, but the guard can't say nothing. He knows he's trying to figure out what he gonna do. So the guard, he probably figure, well, he just gonna go and quit. That ain't gonna go unnoticed. So now, Scandy calls her dad, Warden Smith, and tells who the guard was. So Warden Smith puts a plot together to get rid of his ass. They ain't gonna find him. They gonna find him in a river somewhere, pulling that on his child. But, she's still not saying, but this is, this is, what I'm saying? This is my pops and this is what happened to me. She's not telling nobody in the prison. This only goes back to Willie Earl. So Willie Earl and, Warden Smith, they have like a father-in-law, father and son, conversation about what happened. So they get that in order. That guard, they find his ass in a river somewhere. So you're going to see somebody fishing somebody out of river. So, they go back into the cell blocks. Now the Queen Team is telling the Dream Team. They're all having a little mini meeting. The Dream Team just passing information and he's going about their business. Willie Earl's pissed off about it because he feels like his woman is being, was setting up. So basically all bets are off now. So they put some of the Dream Team guys in the shop. They working on the shop. They working on iron. They building up more because this got to happen tonight. So there's brewing in the prison. So now a lot of people, all the predators and anybody in all the other blocks, C block or D block, E block, F, or whatever the case may be, they all like, okay, we're going to go to war with Willie Earl, because Willie Earl, he's just coming in, he's going to wreck it. So there's chatter about this. So eventually the prison gets locked down for a little while because the rumors get to other guards. That's going to mess their money up. They don't want a war. So, you know, Warren Smith knows there's going to be a war in his prison. And he feel like, well, this is my child. So, you know, he's not talking to nobody. He ain't talking to none of the guards about it. But he's like, okay, a guard has been SA'd, attempt of an essay, you know, so they're not going to lock those guys down. Warren Smith want them guys up out of there. Yeah, Warren Smith is letting Scandy know, do whatever you got to do, and I don't got to hear nothing about it. Roll their ass up out of here. You know what I'm saying? So now, Scandy starts setting up more prisoners to come through the prison to replace those, because they got to go. So it gets there's a big old war. So I'm not going to get into a bunch of detail, but Roach ends up getting jugged up, and they send his ass into the infirmary. He don't make it. But you're going to see a big old war. Now, before that, you're going to see there's going to be a guard that finds out more information about their relationship. So he's been feeding information to Internal Affairs. So that's why Internal Affairs keeps coming back trying to find Scandy in a scandal. That you got people pulling up to her house, her old house, because they're still using that old house. They're not in the new one all that much because, you know, they're still getting things together. So they're trying to figure out if they could catch Scandy in a lie, because now the word got back to the town. The guards that do know that Scandy is in fact Warren Smith's daughter, illegitimate, but they still don't know 100% if she black, but they're getting closer to it. So Scandy's like, you know, she's like, hey, I ain't got nothing to hide, keep on watching me. But, you know, so they're trying to figure out what guard has been telling this information. They can't seem to find them. So what ends up happening is, you know, Internal Affairs, they keep coming back over and over and over. So now Warren Smith, he gets to naming her like the assistant warden. He was trying to, you know, let her do a lesser of a job because he feels like she's going to be pregnant. So eventually, you know, it gets to a point where Willie Earl, he's at Scandy's house. She sits him down and she tells him, you know, Willie, I'm pregnant. So she basically tells Willie Earl, you might as well just keep barebacking me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they had, you know, all that back in the day, but she said, you might as well just keep doing what you're doing. Cause you know, sometimes they try to figure like, well, you know, let's be careful and all that. But you know, Scandy's like, man, I ain't trying to be careful. I want to get married. So now she pregnant. So, you know, she's now working with black lawyers to try to see if they can look back at his case and see what they can do for an appeal or try to do something. It's kind of slim to nothing. They're not really gonna, you know, so, you know, they're preparing for this potential of life. Remember, Willie Earl still got 20, 30 years to do, 20, 30 years of life. But that's going to change, and you're going to kind of see how Willie Earl got to be such a arch nemesis of Count Stacula and his enemies. You're going to see why he became so old and bitter. Okay, so now what ends up happening is they planning the wedding. They got Dream Team Sauerkraut on that bike. That Terminator picture I showed you where I made it look like Terminator 2 Judgment Day. They got him on that bike. And he's following Scandy home on the motorcycle at night. Nobody knows he's an inmate, but Warren Smith made it to where now he could follow her home and from far behind. So you're going to see some scenes on that. Like I say, this right here, you're going to see tons of scenes. So I'm not really, I ain't planning on doing a whole bunch more talking besides letting you know. Now eventually, and you're going to see this down the line, depending if we get to 20, 25 episodes or whatever of the origin story of Willie Earl, you're going to see Strawberry getting old. But that's going to be maybe 10 years later or whatever. So we'll fast track to that at a different point. But I'm just get prepared for that. Strawberry's going to get old and Strawberry's going to get sick. You see what I'm saying? So, and then the Dream Team members is going to be, is going to, you know, get sick, you know, or not sick, but they're going to be getting a little older as well. But so now Scandy, she's taking more of the assistant warden role. She's really like the warden now. She's doing all the work. He's just telling her what to do. So as the years go on, they're going to see that happening or whatever. But like I said, she's pregnant now. So eventually you're going to see she's going to have a child. but that's gonna come a little later. So we gonna get on to this war. So on to this war, Willie Earl wants Sauerkraut and Bubba to lead the war. He wants Roach. He said, no, hands off Roach. Don't nobody touch Roach. So Willie Earl takes care of Roach. But now Willie Earl, he's starting to use some of his healing powers and factors. And there's the moonlight coming out where he's starting to see the things he could do. So now he's starting to get this strength that's different. And so now the Green Team members is wondering, like, man, what's going on? But he's still thinking of the wolf, but he still don't know as to why he's getting, you start healing and, you ain't thinking of no werewolves. You're a 20-something-year-old black man in the penitentiary, and you heal real fast. You have these suspicions. You're trying to put it all together. So you're going to see Skystorm, the elder, come back in his dreams, letting him know about his lineage and about the powers that he's getting. So I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to see if I can't get y'all like 20 minutes of videos. It's just going to go on and on and on and on and on and on, and you're not really going to get a whole lot of commentary.
Benavia, you understand why you're here.
You brought me here. I assume you plan to explain it eventually.
Watch the tone.
I wasn't aware truth had a tone.
There are rumors.
In a prison. That is shocking.
You've been seen near him too often.
I work here. He is here. That tends to happen.
We believe your judgment may be compromised.
Then prove it.
Do you have feelings for inmate Willie Earl?
That's not a prison question. That's a personal one.
Has Willie Earl influenced prison operations through you?
No.
Has he received preferential treatment?
You think this room is beneath you?
No. I think this room is built for weaker people.
You are standing too close to a very volatile man.
Then maybe you should be asking why he's the only one in here who still has principles.
You're protecting him.
Or maybe I know something you don't.
What would that be?
That men like you confuse control with order.
Bad was it?
Bad enough to tell me they scared
Of you?
of what I might choose.
They ain't just sniffing around you. They're watching the whole yard. Any wrong step now, they'll use it.
Then they best not see me step wrong.
Y'all notice how many people around here been pretending not to notice things?
You asking a question or trying to start one?
I'm saying this place shifting. Inmates know it. Administration knows it. Hell, even the walls know it.
Then maybe stop saying it so loud.
You think that woman clean?
Which woman?
Scandal.
Got the word. That's why you here. Ben. You want names. Who talking, who shifting, who suddenly brave now that internal affairs sniffing. I already started a list. Kraut. You don't chase no rumor. You watch kitchen, laundry, infirmary. Venge men always circle where they think folks sleeping. Got it. Bubba, you stay visible.
Paper moving above me.
Folks asking questions they never used to ask. Jackson's listening now.
Then move quieter.
And Willie?
He better start thinking like the whole place about to come for him.
They questioned me all morning.
What they know?
Not enough. But enough to be dangerous.
They watching me too.
No. They watching what happens when you and me get near each other.
But you was untouchable now. Thought you'd learned. I learned you bleed like anybody else.
Then come find out.
Easy.
Back up! Back up!
This. I know.
You talking strategy at me now?
I'm talking survival.
I don't need pretty from you. I need true.
True is, I love you enough to go to war slow.
Then hear my truth. I ain't stepping back. Not from them.
You waking.
What am I becoming?
What you always was. Only now, you know it.
Thunder rolls somewhere far off, blending with the rising choir.
Who is it?
Ain't no law against a mother checking on a child.
Been one of them days. Been thinking on marrying that man. I ain't thinking on it. I already know.
No one ain't the same as surviving.
Mama, everything around us tightening. Officials, guards, inmates, all of them smelling change.
Then don't let them smell fear, too.
You ever love somebody and know the whole world might make you pay for it?
Child, that's the only kind that ever cost.
Need a stretcher! Let's get him up! Watch your side!
Easy, go.
Through the way! Hey! Stop!
Because the crown done found your head, and war always wakes the blood.
Clear the block! Make way! Coming through! Keep those doors shut! Move it now!
Come on, come on.
Not the night to get caught. Still clean.
You didn't see where it went.
Didn't see a thing.
Then there's nothing to find. Work. I feel everything.
Maybe sending men down there.
State man.
Maybe federalized too, depending on what surfaces.
That'll light the whole place on fire.
And don't let it reach fire.
Too late.
And guards split in two. Some scared, some angry.
So I'm waiting to see who wins.
Then we give them something clear to see.
You got here clean?
Ain't nobody follow me.
Good. Because what I'm about to say ain't for no ears but yours.
Then say it.
Warden moved it. Quiet as a snake in grass. The prison car business? It's mine now.
All of it?
The inventory routes, the scrap channels, the parts bookkeeping, outside handoffs, all of it. Papers say it run through me now.
That ain't no little thing.
No, it ain't. And I got more than that.
What?
Now I got one in the oven. You can lay up all you want. We ain't got to be careful.
You sure?
Willie, Earl, I ain't never brought you affairs ain't done.
Roach ain't either.
And the guards are dividing.
I know.
Then say it plain. Is this wedding still happening?
Yes. But it ain't gonna be just a wedding no more.
What is it then? Every outgoing part logged twice. One for state eyes, one for mine.
Yes, ma'am.
No shipment leave this garage without route initials. If a paper come through incomplete, it comes back to me.
Understood. You settling in quick.
I ain't settling, I'm tightening.
Good. This business.
Look like they shipped in the wall.
Oh, war.
Don't posture, don't challenge. Find out who fed them here and why.
Think they were roach?
Think nobody sends 14 heavy bodies nowhere by accident.
That it? That thing been happening again?
I hear more. Feel more. It's like the whole place breathing at me.
Then use it. Don't let it use you.
I'm trying.
Try faster. We got a baby now.
Stand there looking bewildered at me like this done rose up out the floor.
You're really leaving.
Yes, I am divorcing you.
Over rumor?
Over your arrogance, over your secrets, over the way folks whisper when I walk through town, over the fact that every decent instinct in me says you have pulled something vile into our lives and expect me to smile through it.
You need to lay low. Don't come into town for a while. No stores, no church streets, no public places where somebody can corner you with a smile and a question.
You telling me to disappear?
I'm telling you survive. And where exactly I'm supposed to be if not town. Stay on the property where I control access or somewhere nobody would think to look, just not public.
You don't even bother to hide it anymore.
This is not what you think.
Men always say that when it's exactly what I think.
Yes, I'm trying to locate Miss Scandinavia. I have reason to believe there's misconduct tied to the prison administration. No, I don't have an address. That's just it. She's vanished. If you find her in town, I want to know before anybody warns her. Then try the boarding houses, try the church quarter, try wherever a woman like that would hide.
This promotion came fast.
Maybe I earned it fast.
Or maybe someone placed you there.
Place me where the work is. That still count as work.
We have reports you've been moving unusually between sectors. Motor pool, administration, chapel, yard access points.
Assistant wardens tend to move around prisons. That's generally how supervising functions.
And how does Willie Earl function in
Work. That's where you've been sent?
This where I chose. Town can't look where town don't think. Smith's wife trying to stir up scandal. Might be over him, might be over me, might be over both.
And the thing she suspects.
Yeah. You sure? All 14 got staggered transfer paperwork? That ain't a shipment. That's placement.
Didn't ask.
The blues did have its roots, and still does, in the prison. To me, I think this is how the blues actually started.
Parchment. Put her up then. You had to go ahead. Whatever you had you doing, you had to run with it. I rolled so hard until to go to eat dinner, I couldn't eat with a spoon and then just shake off. Been so nervous, you know. But I made it. I made it through all right. As far as I know, they doing okay. All but my wife. Me and her not together now. I got in trouble. She went on up the country. Where she at, I don't know. try to keep it from rolling across my mind. I just get off to myself and just try to forget it. Sometimes I get my old shoe shine box here, shine somebody's shoes, make me 30 or 40 cents. All right, I know I get back up on feet, get me a little cigarettes and things. So I'm making it pretty good. I'm gonna keep coming.
One of these days, and won't be long. One of these days, and won't be long. Well, call for me, yeah, and I'll be gone. One of these mornings, won't be long. Well, older fellow was here before I got here, and I hear them sing them, so I just started helping them sing them. Peaches I love don't grow on trees. Low her neighbor just above her knee. That's that thing you call a stingery. Little 4 days she puts that thing on me. Oh Lordy, butter, butter, oh Lord, gal. Be my woman, gal, I'll be your man. Every day, sunny dollar in your hand. Cut your wood, I make your fire. Tote your water from that boggy bar. Would do your cooking if